I don't know. This one is probably bollocks, right? Although it might not be, right? It really might not be, right? Because Disney their stock prices tanking. They are just doing bad. They are on a real death spiral right now. And there are consequences for that, right? They've laid off like hundreds of workers. They want this strike to go on a long time because they're saving a ton of money, not producing the shit that they produce that nobody wants anyway. So season 15 is potentially delayed, possibly season 14 too. As originally reported by @set_DW, filming for season 15 was due to commence in October, but to my understanding, that's been pushed back. More below. Okay. My source says that it's not the actors-writers strike directly delaying the other shows, but could speculation, not a leak, be problems happening behind the scenes with many American actors and possibly producers of behind-the-scenes crew. Not sure who being halted by strikes. Therefore, halting the show. Season 14 was due to be released around March, April, with season 15 potentially delayed. Season 14 could be moved, to my understanding, to one a more consistent track each year. Maybe yeah, but put him over in like the fall, right? Rather than summer. Look, you get more eyes on it then. And that's why they always kept Jodie in. They only put Jodie on when it was raining out, right? On a solid Sunday slot, right? So that was always work for them. Been told this will change. Been told this is topic will change very quickly. Already said the delays aren't definitely due to strikes, but they're definitely not directly linked to the strikes, like no other show, like Stranger Things. But due to Doctor Who attempting to expand globally to American and worldwide audiences, these strikes that could have an effect. That being said, the 6th anniversary is safe. No delays there. Also, to be clear again, not 100%. You keep saying the same thing, right? Keeps going on. And Disney Who Leaks is his name. And I only got confirmation the other week that was actually happening. So the unit delay should have been a red flag. Well, yeah, it's weird that we haven't heard anything about any spin-offs, right? Continue to support the strikes, however. Our writers and actors deserve better. They do deserve it better, but they don't deserve our support, right? I mean, that both things are true, right? They do deserve better. They do not deserve our support, and I'm sorry you don't. I'll update with further news. Then he gets started doing it. So the guy he gave us a source chimed in. As a Doctor Who filming location, lots of potential leaks and delay talk flying around at the minute. I won't be commenting on any of it as I'm not a leaker. My information comes firsthand. If I discovered anything concrete in relation to Series 15 filming delay, I will report it. Enjoy the break. Fine. Unit delay says Thunderbolt Dash. Unit delay, if it even existed, that's a crash and burn like class. It could be. Like nothing of it, nothing really sounds that great. I'm telling you, nothing really sounds that great. So for me, I'm happy for it to be delayed, right? I really genuinely am, right? I really couldn't care less. So Ian Levine, not a fan of Trump, by the way, as I saw when I went to his Twitter, right? He was like, oh, he's been indicted again. So he's doing a new version, a reconstruction of the massacre. Now, the massacre is an excellent story. If you haven't heard the soundtrack, it's fantastic. It's really, really, really good. Perhaps one of the best episodes. And let's have a quick look at that last season. 1 second. Doctor Who episode guide. Over here. Let's look at season 3. Doink. And you always think of season 3 as like ending with Hartnell. No, he had the first 2 Troughton episodes as well. So Galaxy 4, I mean, like I quite like the animation they did of it, but even so, it was like not one of the greatest. I guess this weird like delivery. We will do what Vaga. Yes, Vaga. Vaga. Mission Unknown was kind of a cool cutaway. Mythmakers. It was like Mythmakers. I've only ever heard the audio, and it didn't really stick with me. Dalek Master Plan is great as like great comic booky type Dalek Adventures. This is as close to like the TV 21 Adventures that ever came out. So the Massacre is a really clever, emotional little story. Actually, season 3's got a lot of good stuff going on there, right? It's a great historical that which has real real stakes in it, right? I like this story a lot. Then you got Ark. The Ark is also good. It's not as good as a Massacre. Celestial Toymaker, really interesting season, right? This is like when they released season 3. Galaxy 4, they got to do. Man, there's a lot they got to do to get season 3 going. Season 4 should be quite easy. They got Power of the Daleks, Highlanders. That's the only one they don't have. Right. Anyway, fine. So let's go back to the story over here. So Ian Levine, he's doing a new version of the Massacre, right? A recreation. I hate to tell you, this still doesn't make me go, ooh, I got to see this, right? This still is like, I think I'll give this one a miss. So interesting update on Ian Levine's missing episode animation project. He's budgeted $20,000 for the Massacre and accepting a minimum of $100 donations, no less. If you don't donate, you won't see it. You don't see it. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts and emotions on this project? I think emotions is like, who cares, mate? Right? Who cares? This is the source from it. It says, you can send me a private message. The Massacre is costing us $20,000. So unfortunately, any donations of anything less than £100 are not worth making. I don't know. What, you say you can't find 1,000 people to donate $20? Yeah, that just seems weird to me, right? You should be able to get 1,000. You should be able to get 1,000 people to pay $20. I'm sorry. That should be doable. And if not, why not? I mean, honestly, like you should be able to get 1,000 people to like. That seems easier than. What was it? 20,000 divided into 100 is 2. You're trying to find 200 people to pay $100. I don't know. I think you'll be better the other way around. But okay, it doesn't look that good, right? It gets the 20,000 donations. Says he's already in production, so I think he. And then the donations of the cover is completely wrong. So then he says, not that I know personally about his financial situation, but he certainly implied. And he used to have one. None of us, mate. None of us do, mate. And his other his other vanity projects wiped him out. Yeah. And also have to tell. Look, the official one was way better. I understand it was less accurate. It was way better, right? I wonder what budget for these things. I mean, like $20,000 seems kind of light, to be honest with you. $5,000 an episode, but like I think you should be able to do it with AI pretty soon, right? So he said, yes, unfortunately, this is absolutely true, but it does stop me from trying, from hoping people who think like who think like will kindly chip in. At least I do something, unlike my enemies who criticize me so much. Well, that is true, but I don't know. Like, yeah, this is the Doctor in it, and so this doesn't look like something I spent $100 on. I'll be frank. I'll put $20 into it to help with the project, right, and be a part of it, and get like a digital download of it. But 100 seems crazy to me, mate. Right? It does. It seems a bit strange. So then he followed up with this today, which again I find weird. Right? I find all this weird. and saying, our private animation of the massacre is our property. It looks like evil trolls are going to force me to giving mute copies to my friends and investors, and then we'll have to sync up with the soundtrack. That sounds awful, right? This is there is no possible breach of copyright here. Sick there. Oh, so he's got to do that so he doesn't get a copyright trouble. Just leave him alone to do it. I mean, like, if it's any good, then I don't know, BBC will buy it off you maybe. How Richard Bignell, who works in the official stuff, I think, how are people forcing you to do anything? There's no other route you can take with this. Yeah, like, just don't turn a blind eye to it. It's a fan project. It's a non-profit fan project apparently. So okay, fine. So here, let's look at the next thing. Character Options has some new Doctor Who toys coming out. This one I find the strangest of them all, right? And it took me a while to work out what the hell it's from. Richard Hundell, First Doctor, and Revelation of the Daleks. But here, let's look at the video they put out, because it's like way more interesting than all of this in this video.
Hi there. Welcome to another Character Options reveal for the B&M product for 20.
Okay. Do you see the Dalek dropship in the background? That's what I want. Man, that's probably going to be a fortune. So, let's see what he has to show us. So, yeah, we got these are the Necrosian white Daleks. First time we saw white Daleks.
Interesting and different grey Dalek, and we'll get into that in a little bit more detail. Then moving on, we have History of the Daleks set number 14, which is based on the story Revelation of the Daleks. It's actually one of my favourite Colin Baker's stories. It's got a horrible air of gloom over the entire thing. It's brilliant. Basically, the Doctor and Perry arrive on the planet Necros basically...
Is it him? Did he talk about the other stuff yet? So, yeah, let's wait till he whips them out. But here, I want him to talk about the Colin Baker set, because this is Bizarroville. What's this one? Hang on. This is the same. We're still
so this set has two of the Revelation Daleks. These are actually pretty unique and new, and there's a couple of little differences. So we'll go through those again in a little bit more detail. But that is the Revelation of the Daleks, a History of the Daleks set number 14.
So
and then the final product for this release for B&M is the Sixth Doctor and TARDIS set. This is really cool. It's very interesting.
It's a weird choice.
There's been various iterations of the Sixth Doctor figure that we've released over the years, but this particular costume, which is inspired by the stage play, I think is very different. So rather than retread old ground, which we don't like to do.
I mean, I understand what you're doing, but like, it's just a weird choice. Like, why didn't you have like a little Zog thing there? But you should have done an extra figure with it. But like, again, look at the Dalek dropship in the background. That's the only thing I'm interested in. Man, that's probably going to be a fortune here. Let's look at that.
This Dalek had some really interesting features. It had basically completely new dome lights. I don't know what they were inspired by, but they looked amazing and very different. So this prop looks...
I have to tell you, I'm a massive Doctor Who nerd. I've never noticed, and I don't really care.
But the prop looked very different, and this iteration of the Dalek...
I don't get me wrong. I know there are fans out there who really care about these differences. It just doesn't impact me at all.
Consequently, also looks different. The other thing that happened around the same time is that the Daleks started to get what we casually refer to as a neck lift. The whole cage bin that sits around the Dalek actually didn't
Character Option makes these toys
sit down flush with the shoulders anymore, so it got lifted. So what we've done is we've added a little component in there to basically
show us it.
They give that visual effect of the neck bin being lifted up, which just gives it it makes it slightly taller, gives it a little bit more.
Right, I remember them doing that. Okay, fine.
More presence. It makes it
boring me to tears. Let's talk about the Richard Hundell figure.
And as I say, the deco. Interestingly, the waistband mesh, the solar slats, for want of a better.
Honestly, this has made me want to cut my wrist. I'm bored to tears, mate.
phrase.
Oh my, still going. There we go. Richard Handel, first Doctor.
And then moving on to the First Doctor. Well, what to say? So, brief history of this one. In this story, he was played by Richard Herndon. The costume was close, but not exact to the look of the William Hartnell Doctor.
Is this the first time they released this Doctor? I think it is.
He had the fingerless gloves, which gave it a very iconic look. But we had a head sculpt for this kicking around for a long time. And long story short, that head sculpt unfortunately got destroyed. So as not to lose that, because I always intended it to go in this set, we had that digitally redone. So the new head sculpt, I think, is actually probably better than the original. And it really looks like the character. So I think this is a cool figure. I've seen some...
I mean, it is. I mean, I don't want to poo-poo it, but what are they talking about?
I love these Daleks. There was something really interesting about them. They were a perfect...
They were just painted white, right? Cream. It was the first time we saw it.
Already in the BBC, some Daleks were made using a completely different method to make the shoulders out of fiberglass, and that resulted in the middle section being significantly different. So
again, I thought these were just the old props they repainted.
So what we did is we've got you'll notice that the whole front section of these Daleks is as close as I can get it currently to those sort of fiberglass more.
That's weird. Just give me a second. There's a thing going weird in my TV. I'm going to let
non-traditional Daleks. So they had a much more prominent oval. They had a much thicker waistband, which we've tried to emulate on here. They had this neck lift going on yet again, which is like a spacer that just lifted the whole neck up and made them very different. The eye stalks on these are new and again quite different, quite unique to this story. They were a sort of bold mix between, again, classic and where we kind of got to with Remembrance. Okay. So there's a few things going on, and the dome lights changed shape slightly from the traditional Genesis sort of mini tail light style, and they had this black band around them. They were finished in an...
Hey kids, I just wanted you to know, be clear about this. Never, ever, 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 ever let a lady hear you talk like this, okay? Never, ever, never do that, okay? Never, ever do that. Okay, he likes it. But again, look at the Dalek dropship. Oh my God, that's freaking insane. But this is
You've got the Sixth Doctor figure and the TARDIS, and I'm going to start with the Sixth Doctor figure because this figure is brilliant.
I guess you're running out of like different things the Sixth Doctor could do. Although, I mean, like, you should do them from the novels. Like, there was a few novels where he was wearing a dark business suit, a black suit with with like a colorful tie. I can't remember. It's probably in the one I'm doing right now. Put him in a Valiant costume. Oh my God, that would be cool.
It's obviously physically exactly the same as the previous releases that we've done, but the deco and the look of this costume is fantastic. And for me, in some ways, I think it's stronger in terms of its...
I don't know. I think it was kind of sad because he'd been pretty much fired at this time, wasn't it? It was around that time. And the TARDIS, okay. They should have, like, I don't know, done more Ultimate Adventure stuff with it. Or maybe give it away with a Big Finish CD. Yeah, 1 second. I mean, look, I know what I say. People will buy it, right? I mean, like, people are, but okay. PD Richards, so fucking what? Yes! Right? Yes. They have no imagination. They have a weird imagination. Like, I don't, like, why? Why would anybody want to remember this? It's like, I don't know. Let me find a Big Finish. Bigfinish.com. Now, this was actually a pretty good release, the Ultimate Adventure. Right, 636. This is so worth it. It's a lot of fun, right? It is a lot of fun. So yeah, this is an audio adaptation of it. I might give this a listen. It just was enjoyable, right? This is definitely an enjoyable. It's just weird. It's just weird. But okay, but they should have included this or a digital download of this, right? Oh, 636. They could have made a deal. But okay. It was recorded in 2008. I'm trying to remember if I had the my digital subscription then. I can't remember. I can't remember. It's just weird, okay? This is weird, but and it's like kind of clutching at straws. I mean, okay. Do you want to do some of the bad looking heads? Can we zoom in on this? Like, do you want to do some of the weird Cybermen as well? But here, did they picture Zog, the little alien companion thing that was with them? But okay, this is something that should be. I can't believe there's an Ultimate Adventure costume page. Right, there's a page for freaking everything. That's just insane, mate. That is just completely cray insane. Fine, let's look at. There's a few stories we want to look at. Starting over here, we got where is this? So we got they announced 4 new actors. So the reason I normally ignore this stuff, right? But I think this is in Doctor Who magazine. One of the people, no, I don't want anything, right? One of the people who they've announced is. We'll look at it when Doctor Who is Gemma Arrowsmith, who wrote the worst Doctor Who story ever made, right? Who was literally the worst Big Finish Doctor Who ever made. It's terrible. Gemma Arrowsmith, right? It's beyond me, right? It is beyond me how she got a job writing, because these are absolutely awful. So here's another room we have going around, and we've got more rooms to look at in a minute. Doctor Who showrunner hints Yasmin Finney will return for season 14. I mean, look, here's the thing. I think not encouraging. I think social engineering the idea that gender is fluid is deeply damaging for society and for people, and destroys people, right? I think and I think it's being done for the narcissistic needs of mentally ill people, right? Or mentally ill adults. And I think children are being used as pawns to make them feel good about their life choices, which I think will ultimately lead them to misery. It won't lead them to happiness, right? It will lead them to misery and loneliness. And yeah, I don't wish that on anyone. And yeah, that's my opinion on what alternative sexual lifestyles will provide for you, right? I don't know if I'm correct about that. I'm not imposing my opinion on anyone. However, I find it really disturbing that people like Yasmin Finney are being used to indoctrinate children, to teach them something that is damaging to them and simply not true. Look, I have to tell you, my outlook is very extreme. My outlook is extreme, very extreme, in that I think we as a generation, my generation, was so bullshit that sex outside of marriage or sex outside of a committed relationship, which I think we're talking about basically marriage, right? Is gonna make you happy, because it's not, right? And I understand nobody's met anybody who's lived that way. I mean, maybe my kids, because they're religious, right? They were brought up religious, but like maybe Amish people, but nobody's met a normal person lived that way. But like now, I'm like in my 50s. I look back at life. I go, yeah. Honestly, it's you think it's gonna. You think you're going to watch the first episode of It's for like that very sexually right? You don't, right? The weird. It's fleeting, it's meaningless. You don't give a shit, right? You basically we do with sex and meaning. Anyway, so I think that was damaging for society on many, many, many levels. I think it's made the overall happiness of society way, way down. But I think this is really damaging for society, right? I mean, it's I think, having children believe that their discomfort that puberty brings is going to be alleviated by surgery that will sterilize you. I think that's terrible, right? Terrible thing. He's genuinely a good person. I think he's caught up in this insanity. I'm praying for a miracle to shake this insanity from the world. I really am. On a genuine level, and I hope we will see that miracle delivered. But without it, I don't know what's going on. That she'll be in season 14. I can see that. Again, it's not. Why wouldn't she be in it? I mean, she's already in the sixth anniversary, and it seems like a reasonable place to introduce a character who, if you have an agenda of wanting to normalize transgenderism, right? Which is like, that isn't normal. I hate to be the one to tell you, it's not bloody normal, mate. Whatever. So Doctor Who showrunner has seemingly implied that the 60th anniversary special guest star Yasmin Finney will also feature in season 14. The casting was big news last year following Finney's star-making turn as Ellie Artwright and Netflix LGBTQ+ coming out drama Hearts of Well, how would it be anything other than LGBTQ? It's a chick with a dick. Right? I mean, like, that's got to be LGBTQ+, because whatever. Details are scarce about Finney's Rose, what role she'll play in the narrative, but fans have speculated and begged, got on their knees, and begged Rusty Davis to make her a recurring character. Writing in Doctor Who magazine 594, which is on sale from today, it said, "I can stand at the back of the studio. Millie catches my eye. We wave across distance, but I don't step in. They're busy. Clock ticking around me. People are drawing in." Okay. The crew, office staff, actors have. It's been a week of goodbyes. Yasmin Finney rapped a few days ago. Big hugs. See you soon. But it all comes down to this: the last scene. So what? I thought this is season 4. That seems to be confirmed she's in season 14, isn't it? His comment noted that she rapped a few days ago. Has been noted by fans who were aware of the 6th anniversary ended some time ago, with the subsequent film and focus on more on season 14. It does sound like that, doesn't it? It does very much sound like that. Fine. So I don't know. What can I tell you? I've given up trying to be excited about this new era, mate. I've given up, right? I've completely given up. It might surprise me and be good, right? It might. Look, Star Trek Picard surprised me and be good. Star Trek Strange New Worlds season 1 surprised me and was good. But it's going to be a bit of a surprise, mate, right? It's going to be a bit of a surprise if it is. And let's look at this story as well. So I have the Blu-rays of season 1 to 4, right? So what are they doing with them now? The first 4 seasons of Doctor Who are going to be remastered for the 6th anniversary. The Blu-ray set, I don't think I can go much longer. My nose is streaming, ladies and gentlemen. Is set to be released on the 13th of November. Will include the entirety of the 9th and 10th Doctor eras, newly upscaled to HD. I already have that. So what's different? This includes every episode from the first to the last 4 specials, as well as bonus features, including a featurette, a look back in time and space, featuring David Tennant, Rusty Davis. Not enough to get me to buy it. To mark the announcement, BBC have released a new trailer for the first 5 years. Well, maybe we'll watch that. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. 1 second. Let me just grab that. Let me just grab that trailer. Maybe they'll tell us not long as well. Maybe they'll tell us, if there's anything new in it. Oh man, I am not doing well. There we go. 1 second. We'll do YouTube downloader online. We'll go over here and doink. Download. Did it download? Yeah, there we go. Right, so let's have a look at this trailer. Doink. Video file. Don't be wrong. I mean, listen, if I don't own them on Blu-ray, this is probably a good time to buy it. Depends how much it's going to be.
19 years of my life, nothing happened. Nothing at all. Not ever. And then I met a man called the Doctor.
Rob!
You're an alien.
Yeah.
A man who could change his face.
New teeth. That's weird.
And he took me away from home in his magical machine.
Man, I forgot about that. Because that comes right out the Pescatons. That audio written by, who was it? I can't remember.
And he took me away from home in his magical machine.
Time and relative dimension in space.
It's bigger on the inside.
Is it? I noticed.
And you go with him, that wonderful doctor. Go and see the stars.
So where are we going?
Further than we've ever gone before.
Oh, what was that one? Hang on. I don't remember that effect shot. Oh, that's the unit helicarrier. When was that attacked by Dalek? Oh, must be was it Doomsday, you think? That looks like a new effect shot to me.
Further than we've ever gone before.
Get me to the track! Is it always this dangerous?
I mean, if they're remastering, why are they doing it on 4K? Stop Stolen Earth. Thank you very much.
If she ever remembers me, her mind will burn and she will die. Run for your life!
You are not alone.
I mean, it was a pretty good 4 years. I mean, let's be fair.
Sometimes I think there's something missing. Like I had something lovely. And it's gone.
Come with me.
Oh man, that was the Fires of Pompeii. Oh my, yeah, fantastic scene in a fantastic episode. And no more details about it. Like, we'll do. Where is it? Go to, where is this? Radio Times. Fine. So the starring the 3 seasons, Blu-ray set 18 discs, containing 60 episodes. New episodes will air. Oh, I'll be able to watch on Disney Plus. Piss off, right? If it's going to be, listen, if they're remastering it there, it's going to be on Disney Plus. So Disney Plus are cutting back on traditional media. So I will buy this if you don't have it. Okay, but it doesn't really tell me anything about this. So let's go to Blu-ray.com, see if it says anything. Oh. Hang on, see if there's any news about it over here. Doctor Who. No, the next thing they got is the Underwater Menace. See, this is the one I have. Right, the complete 10, which was a really good deal. How much is it? Like $25, right? I mean, sorry, mate. This is a really good deal. This is all the specials and basically the complete tenant. And here, let's look at the review. If you want to know reviews about Blu-rays, blue-ray.com is the place to go. So they say the video quality, they give it 3.5 out of 5. Audio quality, 4 out of 5. Don't really care. Extras, 5 out of 5. Yeah, the extras are freaking excellent. It's everything. It's confidential. So yeah, look, it's a good set. How many discs is it? This should tell me how many discs it is. 14. Okay, 5 for $25. That's a great deal. 17. Get out of here. You should buy that. If you don't have it, 17. That's really good news. That's really good value. But anyway, they're re-releasing it for some reason. I mean, like, I don't know what's going to be with it new. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.